we got this great apartment right above a pizza place, and every morning I would wake up to the smell of fresh baked pizza. Everything was great for the first month and a half. We used to go out, smoke a little weed, and party. The one downside to the apartment is that we lived above these two girls, and one of them was dating a drug dealer. And the drug dealer wasn't just like your average sell a little pot drug dealer, he was more of your jailhouse drug dealer, about 6'8", big black guy, tattoos everywhere. Kind of guy like if you walk behind in the street, he would block out the sun. Now, Chris started dating the other girl that lived in this apartment, and when you start hanging out with, he started hanging out with Eric, the drug dealer, and when you start to hang out with a drug dealer, you start doing drugs. So we're sitting on the couch one day, and he lights up a joint, and he turns to me, and I say to him, and before I smoked it, I look and I'm like, this doesn't smell like weed. And again, before I smoked it, he says, no, it's actually weed with crack in it. And at that moment, the only thing that was going through my mind was all those like drug campaigns when you were younger, like the don't do drugs and crack is whack, and the one with the egg in the frying pan about like this is your brain on drugs. And because of those commercials, I chose not to smoke crack that day. So it got weird. So Chris started doing a lot of drugs, and everything around the apartment started getting a little crazy. You know, instead of us hanging out and partying, it was more like, hey, smoke a little crack. And I was like, you want to go out? He's like, no, I'll smoke some more crack. It's like, hey, you want, no? Oh, you're going to smoke some more crack and lose your job. And then, unfortunately, the girls got evicted from their apartment below us, and Chris allowed them to move in with us, and they came in with Eric, the drug dealer. And when a drug dealer moves into your apartment, he doesn't come alone. It's kind of like Robin Hood. He's got a band of merry men with him, but the merry men are all on crack. You know, so it was kind of like just a crazy time. It really went from like 24-hour period of waking up every morning and smelling this pizza to waking up every morning and smelling crack. You know, the neighborhood in this town that we lived in was so crazy that there was actually a guy dressing up like a ninja and going around and robbing people's houses. And he actually stole beer and meats from the pizza place that we lived above. So, you know, I had to start hiding my money because all these crackheds now were living with us, and what I would do is I would leave out a little money here and there in certain places so they would take it, and I put the rest in my mattress. The reason why I didn't have a bank account was because my grandmother was big into like the Depression era, and she was like banks for the devils and stuff like that. So I never like truly had a bank account at that time, but eventually they found my mattress hiding space, and then I moved my money into a Mr. Potato Head. And I don't know why crackheads don't like Mr. Potato Heads, but for some reason they stopped stealing my money. And you know, so it was just like an insane time. I came home one night. Oh, actually, you know what? There was actually good things about living with crackheads, though. There was like you could do things, and they do things cheap. Like if I wanted the dishes done, I would just pay them quarters. And if I was like, take the garbage out, and I give them a couple cigarettes. I paid one crackhead a pair of socks to play video games with me for a while. But it was still miserable, though. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't a good time. I came home one night and I wanted to go to sleep. I came home late from work and I go into my bed and there's this girl laying in my bed and I was like, hey, excuse me, what are you doing in my bed? And she was like, oh, don't worry, I don't bite. And all right, come on, if there's a girl in your bed, you're gonna, you know, jump on the opportunity. But this girl was a crackhead, and in my eyes, she resembled like an old, like rotting, maggot-infested, like piece of like moldy wood, you know, and I'm not gonna stick my dick in an old, rotting, moldy, maggot-infested piece of wood. You know, I don't know if you would, I would. So I flipped out, man. I didn't say nice this time. I was like, get out of there. And then I told all the crackheads, I was like, everybody get the hell out of here. And all that was left was all 6-foot jailhouse Eric, sleep on my couch. I walked up to him and I was like, you gotta get out. And he was like, make me. And I was like, damn it. So I pulled up my fist and I just hit him as hard as I could. And the next thing I know, 15 minutes later, we're fighting and we're being broken up by the cops, and I get taken to the hospital with a broken wrist, and he gets taken to jail. So I'm like really pissed off now. I get back from the hospital, I'm in my room, and I just want to go to sleep. I want this to end, you know? And I look outside the damn back window, and there's the town ninja. After all this shit that just happened to me, this ninja's gonna break into my apartment. And I was like, well, you know what? Who cares? Maybe he'll come in and he'll stab me with his ninja sword and it'll be over. But he turns around and he takes his mask off, and the ninja happened to be my roommate, Chris. What the hell? So I made this deal with myself. I had all the pills from the painkillers from the hospital, and I was like, I'm gonna take all these, and if I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna leave. So basically, I woke up the next morning because I'm here, and Chris was like talking about how he wanted to change his life and better himself while I'm packing up my stuff, and why am I leaving, and this and that. And the whole time he's telling this to me, he's snorting Oxycontin. And I'm like, oh. And then all of a sudden he starts to OD right in front of me. And I'm standing over this guy dying on the floor, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, oh my God, man. I'm like, you're the guy, because of you, you know, all this is happening. My broken wrist, I have no money, I got no job, you know, and you steal from people, and you do drugs. I mean, would the world really miss a guy like this? You know, I could walk out this door right now and let him die here and have somebody come in and find him the next day. I didn't, though, because, you know, I called the ambulance. I didn't do it because I liked the kid. I didn't do it because I wanted the world to have him back. I did it because I believe in karma, and karma's a bitch.